My life before Vector, I was just graduated and just kind of figuring out what I wanted to do with my life. And so I was just kind of deciding that I was going to work. And then I found out that Vector was an opportunity for me to do, and I heard all of the things that they were offering, and I really wanted to get that experience and being able to apply that to my daily life. And I thought that would be super cool to get a better understanding of the Bible and just what I believe and why I believe it.
I was in a place where I felt like I thought I knew what I was doing and was okay with where I was at. And at the time, Kyle had asked me to do Vector, and at the time I was like, absolutely not. I'd rather make money and then go to do another year of the schooling.
Just leading up to Vector, there was a series of events that really tested how my relationship with God was, and it wasn't good. And he was starting to get a hold of me. I started to realize that I needed to take my relationship with God more seriously.
I will tell of the decree.
I will tell of the decree.
The Lord said to me, you are my son. Today I have begotten you.
The first week of Vector was a blast because we all did a lot of fun activities that built us up to get closer with one another.
I figured that we would have just got right into the class stuff. Instead, we were moving logs and pushing rocks down hills and stuff.
Everything I've done before is I can do it myself. I can do it better myself. You have to work as a team and learning how to communicate with people. Like if you're carrying the log, you had to do it with everybody. Like you had to make sure everybody was with you and you had to keep them involved the whole time.
They basically threw all these strangers in a field together and were like, hey, figure out a way to move these tires by sprinting up a hill, but you try to beat the other guys too. And so it was challenging in the team working aspect, just because again, we didn't know each other. We were getting to know each other as we were working as a team.
As my eyes were open to that, like just the friendships that I was gonna get out of Vector were going to be stronger and a lot better.
But he delights in the law of the Lord. On his law he meditates day and night.
He is like a tree.
I thought that the whole trying to memorize the Psalms 1 and 2, that was really cool. I think that posed a very unique challenge because it was like you had to rely on other people to like remember their part in order to formulate this bigger sentence.
Some of us didn't know each other. It brought us closer, and I don't think that would have happened if we just went straight into school that week. And just like the relationships, that's something that I've really gotten out of Vector, and I'm super happy for that.
It was the first couple days that I'd been gone with the entire group, and just spending that amount of time with everybody, we got to know each other a lot better as well, just that bonding and that friendship, because it turned out that we didn't see very much of Yellowstone. Get there, Yellowstone's closed because of all the snow, and so we're just hanging out at the retreat spot in Idaho. We did get to go into Yellowstone and see Old Faithful. We got there right as it was finishing sprouting.
It was not going off, and we were there for it felt like an hour. And then when it did, it was all gray in the background, so we didn't even see anything. So I thought, I was like, well, that was kind of a waste of time, but it was still fun. We had a lot of good laughs and a lot of good memories there.
It literally was kind of a retreat because we ended up playing in a very intense game of full contact hockey. Just getting to roughhouse, and I think that was a lot of fun. Yeah.
I look back at it now, and I know that we did one thing where we had past sin or something like that, where we crumpled it and threw it into the trash can. That was huge for me.
Realizing that I needed to let go of everything that I was holding on to. Just getting to share that with others, I think, is a huge weight off my shoulders.
I am where I am, and I need to be okay with where the Lord has me and where the Lord has taken me through life.
The classes were definitely challenging. They make you push yourself. They make you go way beyond what you think you're capable of as far as assignments and reading.
But honestly, even though some of the classes were challenging, it was totally worth it.
Obviously, the content was super challenging. It's pushed me in a way mentally that I've never been pushed. Is the Word of God we're talking about. Like everything that is in that book, everything that we've learned actually did fit in my life.
It was really good for me to be able to do what we did because it challenged me, and I know it challenged others too, but it challenged me personally. I know that I'm more capable of doing a lot of things than I actually thought I was able to do.
Obviously, like, a lot of verses are very direct. Understanding how to look at the Bible through different lenses and kind of, I think, just kind of diving a little bit deeper about it.
It's easy to be good at something and to not acknowledge that you can actually use that. And I thought it was super cool on how we were able to look at life in a different perspective on how we can keep moving forward and keep serving the Lord and use those gifts to glorify His name.
You can see those spiritual gifts and then affirm that in people because you've been hanging out with them every single day for 7-8 months. Like, just getting to see that is kind of cool.
I know myself better because of this retreat. I've learned, the deeper core of who I am, and so now I can hopefully learn to love people better and use those gifts to glorify God ultimately.
The last day, we prayed for each other. We went all around the room individually and just prayed for each other and just told each other what we were grateful for and why we were grateful for the people that were in our lives in Vector. I feel like I've known all these people for my whole life, and I just think that's super cool on how that works through only just 9 months. When I first heard about Vector, I knew that some good things were going to come from it, but it didn't really it didn't reach out to me as much. But then when I prayed about it, I realized that this was something that I needed. I wouldn't have been able to have a lot of these experiences without it. And so I just thought that was really cool on how I've learned and grown in different areas with the books that I've read and the relationships that I've made here.
Vector helped me get a solid foundation for what being a godly man, what that looks like, and how you can support all of that with the Bible.
I look at my Bible completely different, and the way I approach just my time with Jesus is different now in a good way. The people and the relationships that came out of it have been really cool. I mean, I've gotten to meet some awesome people, people on fire for Jesus.
I have men surrounding me that won't let me drift, and when I do push against that, they're not gonna just let me go. That they're going to keep me accountable.
At the end of the year, we're kind of going to walk away with a piece of each other from for the rest of our lives. I think that these are lifelong friends. These are people that are going to probably be at my wedding, hopefully.
God bless the USA.
If someone's hesitant to do Vector, it'll be totally worth it. I've learned I haven't learned everything, I don't know, but I've learned a lot of things I didn't know beforehand, just about we can actually look at the text and draw the meaning out of the text, not what our meaning of the text is, but being able to see that is probably I think that's one of the coolest things.